Hey, Dan, it's time for Behind the Buffer.
Welcome to Behind the Buffer by Owner's Pride. I have a Mr. Paulo, the Canadian Wonder Rep. Paulo, how are you doing today, sir?
Fantastic. Once again, a nice warm day for a change.
No comment.
No comment.
No comment. I'm in San Diego, so no comment. And we have Chris Fish from Clean Freak Detailing or Detail Solutions, also in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing well, sir. Thank you.
All right, nice to meet you. Now, I always am saying that I think Paulo is the hardest working man in the detail industry. But before we got on here, he said that might actually be you. So we're going to get to that part, and I want to find out because I hear you have another job part, and I'm super excited about talking about that. But let's do first things first here. When did you first start detailing cars?
So, kind of as a hobby or to the professional level? So as a hobby, when I was many years younger, my very first car that I got was a 1988 Pontiac Sunbird.
My first car was a 1980 Pontiac Sunbird.
So, and it was one of those things where it was, you get it from the dealership and you wanted to keep it nice and clean. So I knew nothing at that time because we're talking the 80s. There wasn't a lot out there to talk about, see about, and know about. Go to your local Canadian Tire store. Hey, that looks like a pretty good something. That looks like a pretty good something. So then I was just making my car look shiny all the time. No tools, just all by hand.
What color was it?
Yeah.
It was blue. I can't remember what color blue. It was a specific blue, but I loved it. It was a nice car.
Oh, absolutely.
And then from there, I got into 1998 Chevy LT, Z71, and that thing was mint. I kept that so shiny that the neighbors were going, "What are you doing? Like, how is that possible?" From the engine right through, like you could eat off the engine, and basically everything from that point. So whether it was my car, my wife's car, I have a mountain bike, everything is just sparkling.
Okay, so you started your hand dipping into detailing for necessity of taking care of your own cars.
Correct.
Okay, and then what was your first job?
Well, goodness. Well, I wouldn't say I had a first job. Again, specify job. Job as in detail or job as in career?
Job as in you're going there and you're giving away your soul and somebody gives you some money for it.
That's pretty much every single day. So the first, before I actually started the company Clean Freak, I actually knew some people who were coming to me and was getting some detailing done. So it wasn't for huge profitable money or anything like that. It was just, at that point, it was kind of for fun with some profit in it. My father-in-law, he had a 1953 Chevy 1500, and we used to take it to car shows. So I would be the one that would be responsible for keeping that thing shiny. So we got lots of awards from keeping that shiny. But it was probably within the last year when I started actually thinking, you know what, I can do this. Years up to it, I didn't have a lot of confidence. There was a lot of things, YouTube has really been predominant in the last couple of years where it's really been helpful for a lot of people. If you stick to the right individuals, trying to find the right individuals is always the challenge. But once you find the right ones that, you got the guys, and I don't want to start name dropping actually, but there's a lot of guys out there that really have some good credit in the industry. You had one on the show here not too long ago. I watched you guys with Pan. I'm going to name drop there, again, because he really does a lot of product review. Again, it's just paying attention. So from there, getting the tool, practicing. We bought my son a car, and I call that the practice car. So you can basically do whatever you need to do to it. If you want to sand it, if you want to scuff it, do anything and everything just to see how you can fix it.
So your clean freak detail business is only about a year old?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the aha moment where you were like, this is a viable thing for me to do for money?
I'm getting older. I want something to do for me. I'm getting to the point where it's got to be something that I want to do. This is what I call my down, relaxed time, my stress time. So when I actually get to be on a tool or on a vehicle, it gives me that ability to just de-stress.
Okay. And so you said your son has a car that you guys are working on too. Is this a family affair?
He would like it to be a family affair. So I'm teaching him a little bit at a time, bull in a china shop. So we got to get him starting small. Let's practice washing the vehicle first, making sure we do the right processes. We're doing it, taking your time. So once we get him through that, then yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this is something that he can take on.
Excellent. Old bull, young bull. I like it.
Yeah.
So do you have a shop currently, or are you mobile, or is this a home-based operation?
I'm not mobile because, again, it is more of a part-time thing for me right now because I do have 2 other things going on in my life that eats up a bulk of that time. So I do have my garage that I've retrofitted and are still currently retrofitting so that, I have a nice space. And then I don't travel, but I do have a space where I go to for a dealership here near Edmonton. So I detail a lot of their expensive builds for customers.
So go ahead and tell me about that other job that you have.
Okay, so I sell Zamboni. So I am the perfect. I am the Alberta rep, and I do a little bit of the territories, but my territory is the entire province of Alberta. So I get to sell to pretty much anybody who has a rink in this province, right through to the NHL.
Okay, that's really neat. Tell Dan about the perks that a man might get for having this kind of a job. Do you get to go to hockey games?
I wish. It's not like it used to be. Like there used to be. I mean, I get to get in behind the scenes, so I do have access to both NHL rinks here, one in Edmonton, one in Calgary. So that's the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. So I do have that access. I'm sure if I were to travel to any other province or into the U.S., I get to wave the Zamboni flag, and I pretty much have free access. Shouldn't say free access, but I do have access into facilities. So whether it's the NHL or not, so. It's not like the old days where those perks were free flowing. It's a little bit more tighter these days, but yeah, I still have some pretty decent access.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, how cool. I want to drive a Zamboni too.
Anytime I'm in San Diego, I will find you. We will go find the local rink, and all I'll do is I'll go in, say who I am, and I can guarantee you we get you on that machine.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's bucket list check right there.
Yeah, look at this. That's a real smile. How neat. How do you see that job? Are you selling the actual Zambonis to people?
I sell and train.
Okay. What do you see in the sales for Zambonis that translates over to the sales in your detailing?
Actually, it was my whole career that led into the sale of Zamboni. That leads into any kind of sale because my career started in community services. So I was a manager of community services. So it was recreation. So I was manager of an arena, a pool, parks department. From there was culture, arts, performance. FCSS, what we call here in Alberta, is a family support system. So again, building that career of working in a municipal setting, you're always constantly having to sell yourself, both to the public and to your peers, being, members of council, your managers, your directors, those types, right? So I pretty much spent my entire life having to try to sell up. Because again, I needed to buy product for my arena. I needed to buy product and equipment for, again, my arena, my parks, my pools. So I had to sell those above me as to why is it that you would need this. So you learn to develop storytelling, right? So one of the things we talk about is storytelling. Yeah. So when I'm selling a Zamboni, I go into somebody's facility and I don't go in there for the primary goal of selling that Zamboni. because of my background, I'm able to go in and actually talk to the operators, and we have the whole story. We talk about, how are things going and what is it that you need. It's like we slowly learn what they need, and then the sale comes. Then I start talking about, well, this is the machine that I think you guys need. Oh, well, you guys are having issues with that. Well, this might be the right option that you should think for that machine. So it's all about the storytelling.
And discovering the problems and offering solutions.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it, yeah.
Man, I got to say, I think that you're going to do phenomenal. A lot of times what we find with the detail people is they don't have that really sales background to come in. But, I mean, what you're saying is dead on music to my ears.
Well, I think that's kind of what kind of helped me with, say, the specific dealership with the vehicles, because it was not only just selling the story, but when they saw the end product, they asked me back again, and I actually got to detail right in the showroom. And all the sales managers were around, and the owners around, and a lot of the salespeople around. So as customers are coming in, I'm standing there doing my thing, so people would come up. So I would talk about the truck. I'd talk about the detail I'm doing. So it kind of blew them away to the point that I wasn't just some jack trade guy coming in, just do my job, get out of my face, and leave me alone type of thing. So that's why now they call me anytime they need anything.
Yeah, Chris has a really good picture that he showed me. It's basically the identical truck, detailed by the dealership, not detailed, and detailed by himself. And it's amazing. Like, you see those pictures, and it's unbelievable. The difference, especially on those custom builds, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
When you're selling a piece of equipment that expensive, you definitely want to showcase why they're spending that kind of money.
Yeah, it seems a lot of times that people they give the detailers at a dealership a bad rap, but I think it's a lot of times the management pushing them to go faster and faster and not giving them the time,
And how much profit can you make me? Yeah. How much profit can you make me?
And that's the difference where companies like you guys come in and actually pay attention to the car. It's a step up from that quick service.
Yeah, we're talking about training at the dealership, because it's not that people don't care. Some of those detailers actually care and they want to grow, but the dealership doesn't see the money into that, so they keep on cutting those guys back.
Yeah, you can definitely, when you start talking to some of the individuals especially where I'm at right now, you can see the ones that have been beaten so down that they don't care. They're just, this is what I was hired for. They just want me in, they want me out. I have right now one young gentleman that is always in my ear. And he comes to me every time I'm there, and he's like, "Hey, Chris, how's it going? What are you doing here? Well, what are you doing here?" So I'll just sit and talk with him. Like, again, I just say, anytime you have anything, come with, see what I'm doing. We'll talk, then go do your thing so you don't get in trouble. But so it's good. I like the fact that he's got some eagerness to want to learn.
So having your detail business, Clean Freak, is this the first business of your own, a business entity that you've had?
I had a business actually back in 98 through to about 2000, 2002, and it was a kind of a landscaping job on the side. Even though that I was in the municipal world, I was doing something on the side because, again, just trying to make something. But then when my son was born, kind of took up my time, and then I'm like, okay, that's done. Focus on moving forward, and then I just didn't go back to it, but I still kept the career. So this here is just kind of my out as I start to exit my career. So
what gets you the most excited about detailing cars in your detailing business?
Oh, just the shine after I'm done. I could sit there and stare at it for hours. Like, again, there's one truck that I'm extremely proud of, and it shows on both my Facebook page, my Instagram page, and I know I've shown it to Paulo. It's the one monster truck. Essentially, it was actually at SEMA last year, and they called it After Hours was the truck, and it's a big black Denali, 1-ton Denali that has red highlights through it. And just the shine that comes off of that, they put it in the showroom, and everybody that's one that is still talked about today. They sold it, somebody else owns it now, but anytime it comes back, that's the truck that they talk about.
Yeah, it's an amazing build. Yeah, that's for sure.
And I tell you, that black GM paint is about as difficult of a paint as you can get, right? Now,
Yeah.
maybe the black Porsche paint also. I've definitely broken a sweat.
But when you get that mirror shine, that's beautiful.
Yep.
What would you say a myth about the detailing industry that you could debunk that people have?
Man, that's a good question. Honestly, I am not 100% sure because I into anything that I found was a myth other than lighting a ceramic on fire.
Or hitting it with a lighter. Okay.
It kind of goes back to the old infomercials of the 90s where it's, and it can do this.
It'd be easy to go down that rabbit hole, but I'll take the high road.
Yeah.
Who are 3 people throughout your career who have been the most influential on you? And this could be in detailing or any parts of your career.
Well, within my job career, I did have one individual. He's since retired. He was actually my mentor from the early 90s right through to his end of his career. Even though that we hadn't worked together, I always kind of leaned on him for advice. Again, he had a lot of patience. He really challenged me to ask the questions. He challenged me to come with resolution and not problem. Something that I always go back to people with is don't come to me with an issue, come to me with a solution so that we can work backwards from there to figure out what's going to work. So he was a huge influence on where I'm at today. And again, the other thing that I do in my life, I am a municipal councillor as well. So having all these pieces have kind of come into play. In the detailing world, again, like I said earlier, you've got Pan, you've got Brian, you've got, there's so many of them, like the Chicago Auto Pro guys, the Rag Company guys, the Apex Detail. Like there's so many of them that, you just sit there and listen to what they have to say. And, you can kind of pick out pieces of what they're saying and kind of make it your own. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about, are there any books that you've read that have been really influential specifically to your detailing business?
No, I'm more of a visual learner than I am a book. I would rather see somebody do something because I'm an easy mimic that way. You tell me that you want me to do it this way, okay, and then I'll find a way to make it work for me. But as long as I know the steps through it, I'll find my solution. So I'm more of a visual learner than anything else.
So I think what more I was referring to more of like business concepts and sales and stuff, more so than like the procedure of actually polishing a car.
Okay, I get what you're saying. As far as that goes, again, that's kind of where my career was. So now that I'm into sales with Zamboni, because again, I was never a salesman in that respect. So, there are some books out there where, I've listened to a few podcasts talking about how to capture that initial conversation. And then once you've captured that initial conversation, how to take it that step further to get the sale, right? And that's where I go back to telling the story. So I'm pretty much self-taught. I mean, I've gone through schooling, I've gotten my business administration, I've got my business accounting, I've got management, those types of skills. But like I say, as I get to the age of retirement, these are just things that are now natural.
Experience, I tells you.
Yeah.
Experience. If people wanted to get a hold of Clean Freak Detailing, how could they find you?
Right now, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. So on the Facebook, it is Clean Freak Detail Solutions. Same thing on Instagram. I've just put into TikTok, so we'll see where that goes. I'm not a TikToker, but It's there, and I am on Twitter, but I don't do a lot with the Twitter because it's just not one I think people really go to for that aspect. It's just another piece of the social media.
Creating brand
Eventually, there
awareness
will be a
or-
web page, but
Yeah.
Okay. But Rome was not built in a day.
yeah.
Your
I've
marketing.
got a lot on my
really-
plate, so I got luxuries at the moment that if I don't have a car tomorrow, I'm okay.
Yeah, gosh, it's you guys make me feel kind of lazy. I sit on my butt on a computer and a telephone all day and talk to people. You guys
Chris,
are-
a quick one about your marketing. Do you do all your marketing? Because I see you got a really good profile. Your presence is impeccable.
Yeah, so everything I do myself. So all my marketing, all the media I do. I'm starting to the captures now. This is where I'll get my son involved because he'll start taping, and then he'll do some of the video edits for me, so we can start capturing that way. But as far as the marketing detail and everything, because of my marketing through the career that I had, and now with the Zamboni, because I do a lot of the marketing for the company that I work for. So it's second nature for me. So
Yeah, your media presence is impeccable.
thank you.
Nice. And that's super important. You gotta get out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I imagine we'll be tapping you again to join us, maybe on a podcast, like a full episode podcast. I think that some of your experiences will be really great on a panel discussion.
No, I appreciate this, guys, and I will get you both a Zamboni shirt.
Oh yeah, red one.
Yes.
Right one.
All right. Well,
I know Paul is really wanting to detail a Zamboni, and I'm trying to locate one for us. So
I'm half tempted when the world opens up to get you an airplane ticket to come out here, or me go there so I can drive a Zamboni.
So you
got
gotta come
goals.
over. Yeah.
And thank you for taking some time out of your day to be on Behind the Buffer by Owner's Pride. Thanks for listening to Behind the Buffer, a presentation of the Owner's Pride podcast brought to you by Owner's Pride Car Care Products. Until next time, stay glossy.